Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
Developed for athletes of all sports, PSM's Edge training program is a personalized, high-intensity experience designed to help you outperform the competition. Whether you're looking to enhance your speed, strength, power, agility, or overall fitness, our expert training staff will build a program that adapts to your schedule while maximizing your overall performance. Now accepting athletes 12 years old and up. Get started today. Schedule your free evaluation at psmsports.com/edge.
I started playing football when I was 4 years old in the Cub Football League at Leo. My freshman year of high school, I really started to notice that there was something different about how I played compared to what some other people were playing like. So then I started to develop more. I started to see the results, and then being able to go to Iowa was a big opportunity for me. Being able to train here at PSM has really given me an edge over my competitors. Working on my speed, that's the name of the game nowadays, is who's the fastest guy on the field. Being able to put my body in different positions to allow me to be in the best position during the game is so important to not take those days off and just get into a place like PSM where they have flexible hours, and it's good for college athletes to come in and just train.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions, together we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
At PSM Sports Therapy, recovery is more than getting you back to your sport. It's about building a stronger version of you. Our team of experts uses state-of-the-art technology to build personalized care plans that get you healthy and back in action safely. With no physician order needed, contact us directly to receive top-quality care exactly when you need it. Call 260-266-4007. Visit one of our Fort Wayne locations or go to psmsports.com to learn more.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Tired of waiting for a doctor's referral to start physical therapy? At Indiana Physical Therapy, you don't need a prescription. You have the power to choose where you go for expert care. Our experienced therapists will help you get back to doing what you love. With over 19 locations, getting the care you need has never been easier. Take the first step towards a healthier, more active lifestyle. Visit IndianaPT.com to schedule your appointment today.
Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Here, every athlete is one of one. Every day is an opportunity to improve, to become faster, stronger, healthier. That's our commitment. With elite training and expert care, we transform athletes by pushing through challenges and sharing every victory. PSN, you've got goals. We help you get there. Learn more at psmsports.com.
And welcome back to Don Reichert Gymnasium, everybody. We've got boys basketball here between the Homestead Spartans and the Southside Archers on SummitCitySports.com. I'm Thad Goff along with Keith Edmonds. Now, both of these teams have good records coming into this game. Homestead is ranked in the Indiana Basketball Coaches Poll, ranked 13th with a 7-2 record. Southside, not quite ranked, but they are undefeated. They've had an incredible season so far this year, and we could have a very fun matchup tonight.
Well, the interesting part about those rankings is that they were preseason rankings, and and how no one really expected Southside to be in this position with the loss of some of the players that they lost due to transfers. So they're working their way into state recognition, but again, those things mean nothing when these teams play against each other. Obviously it's for an opportunity to win the SAC. Southside is just really playing mind-boggling basketball right now. They're 12-0. Reinvented themselves and just playing tremendous basketball. Homestead is just steady. They have one of the great coaches in the state of Indiana, and Coach Chris Johnson, and we're not surprised where they are. And Southside might be a little bit surprised, but I think they want to show everyone that they deserve to be here.
Absolutely they do, and both teams want to show everybody that they can play at a high level, and we know they can play at a high level.
Yes.
Now for Homestead, they've been led in scoring most of the year by the likes of Mac Welker, who's averaging 18.8 points per game. Jake Kuhlman averages 10.8 points per game. And just a shade under 10 is Ryder Immel, who shoots the three at over 44% coming into this game. So Homestead's got some guys who can score at a high level on a consistent basis. Now for Southside, it's a very guard-heavy team that Southside has. Terrence Jordan, Javon Irby are two of the leading scorers, and Josh Sandoval is a guy who I guess you could say has come into his own. He was not a guy who was scoring at a high level last year, but he is this year. So, Keith, you talk about Southside inventing themselves. They've kind of found new roles for a lot of the players, and those players have stepped into those roles.
Well, one of the things about coming off the benches is you're waiting for your opportunity, and due to transfers and again, Coach Foster having a lot more confidence in using his bench. These kids are getting an opportunity to show what they can do, and it's always neat to see those kids that have been waiting for their opportunity to shine, and I always make mention of those kids that are coming off the bench that get those frontline players ready to play, and now they are those frontline players, and they're stepped up and done a tremendous job so far.
Of course, Mac Welker for Homestead is a big 6'8" guy. I think Welker's 6'6". They've also got Braylon and Brogan McNeese at 6'6" apiece. Now for Southside, they don't have nearly as much size, but they've got guys who can handle the ball. Cameron Charlton's really the only big guy that they have, and he's a freshman. But JT Timberlake Johnson, Terrence Jordan, Javon Irby, Josh Sandoval, what they lack in size, they make up for in quickness and great shooting. Well,
and again, it's not the size of the man in the fight. You know how that goes. So, I think Southside understands that they're going to have a decided disadvantage as far as interior play, but they're going to make Homestead work for everything, and I expect Southside to be all out full court press and not allow the ball to just be entered into to Welker and some of the post players that Homestead has this evening.
If I'm not mistaken, the last time that Southside beat Homestead was in the late 2000s, somewhere around 2006, 2007, somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check that, but it has been a while since Southside defeated Homestead. They've got a chance to break a long losing streak at the hands of the Spartans tonight. Spartans going in the road yellow uniforms. Archers going with the typical home whites, as we've got about a minute and a half to go until this game gets underway. I will go ahead and give you a few words from our sponsors before we go any further. It is, of course, because of our sponsors that we're able to do all the games that we do here on SummitCitySports.com. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They'll help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com to learn more. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on X at 260Sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Of course, it's on our YouTube channel where you can watch all of our broadcasts of high school sports. And we do have some games going on right now on Summit City Sports. Games that got an early start. One of those games was Northrop versus Snyder. The girls' game's all said and done. The Snyder girls came back and won that game after being down 12. Right now, the Snyder boys have a 9-point lead in the second quarter. 27-18 is the score. Snyder on top over their rivals from Northrop. It looks like Concordia and Bishop Luers are about ready to get things started. Northside and Wayne are at halftime, it looks like. I'm trying to get the official score update. Get that in just a second. Of course, Wayne lost a lot to graduation last year, but Wayne is up, leading 8 points just starting the third quarter. 41-33 is the score over there right now. Northside running new leadership, but they did get a huge win against Elkhart over the Christmas break. So those teams trying to, I guess you could say, rebuild, trying to get going back in the right direction.
Yes.
Here we've got Southside versus Homestead, and we're going to have the introduction to the starting lineups here. They did the national anthem at the start of the girls' game. Not going to do it at the start of the boys' game, however, just the girls' game. So they'll start with the starters for Homestead here in just a second.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear myself.
It's a loud gym tonight here at Reichert. But Homestead and Southside should be a fun matchup. as they get ready to have the tip-off at half court.
All right, there. We're live in HD.
Absolutely. Ready to go. Southside undefeated. Homestead just two losses so far this year for the Homestead Spartans, and we're ready to get underway. Looks like it's going to be Terrence Jordan and Mac Welker to tip it off. And the tip is won by the Spartans, and here we go.
Southside starts off in man-to-man. It'll be interesting to see how Homestead attacks, trying to get the ball inside to Welker, get him going early.
Brogan McNeese feeds that one over, and they work it over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman scoring just over 10 points per game as the crowd gets loud. Pull-up jumper, and Immel couldn't get it to go. Terrence Jordan coming down the floor. Extra pass to Corte Wallace. Corte Wallace is a good shooter.
Yes.
Son of Colas Wallace, who coaches soccer here at Southside High School. Terrence Jordan on the attack, and it's off of him and out of bounds. Homestead will take over. No score yet, just 43 seconds into the game.
Yeah, like we anticipated, Southside is going to start pressuring right away. Looks like just a man-to-man. Just a token look. Not really getting after it yet.
Jake Kuhlman across the timeline. He's guarded by Terrence Jordan. Kuhlman behind the back. He goes outside. Kuhlman gets it again. Feeds that one over, gets it back. Around the screen from Welker, and a foul is called. The basket counts.
Kuhlman is crafty. Was able to play through contact, get that shot up on the glass, and opportunity for a three-point play.
Jake Kuhlman at the line to shoot one and try and complete a three-point play. And he got it. Almost spoke too soon, but it just spun down. And Homestead starts off with the lead. Javon Irby handles, and he hands that one off to Sandoval. KJ Alexander in the game as well, as Irby drives just a little bit short. Of course, KJ Alexander is a starter in this game, but here's Welker coming down the floor. Welker's big, but he can shoot from the outside as well. That one's poked away by Wallace, and the Archers get a chance to run. Catch and shoot for Sandoval. He got it.
And that's what Southside wants to do. They want to get in transition, make those big bodies from Homestead run the floor, and now they're in their 2-2-1.
That three ties the game as Southside pulls even on Sandoval's three, and he's a guy who's really coming to his own this year. Into the backcourt, Jordan goes after it, and it's chased down by Kuhlman. This is a stingy Southside team. You got to take care of the basketball against them, but it helps when Mac Welker's knocking shots down.
Nice, Mac Welker. Nice step back.
Welker on the board for the first time as Jordan gets his touch. Alexander, only 5'11", but he can crash the boards and keep possessions alive. Jordan outside to Irby. And Irby's pull-up goes.
Again, Southside has 5 players that can put the ball on the floor, create their own shot, and get to the basket. Great move by Irby.
Immel, the kick to the corner. That's a contested three, and it wouldn't go, but an offensive board by Brogan McNeese. That ball will stay with Homestead. Goes right to the student section. Mason Weaver will inbound. McNeese trying to get free. McNeese calls for it down low. He's got Wallace on him. They do find Welker. We've seen him hit the three already in this ball game. He's a big 6'6" guy, but he can step out and knock him down.
And Homestead just being patient, looking for an opportunity to get the ball into Welker.
They get it to him, and Welker draws the foul. Javon Irby was there in the area. I think that's who the foul was on. It was on Irby. That's 2 fouls already on Southside. So Mac Welker will go to the free throw line. Not fazed at all by the student section. .427 left here in the first quarter. Welker 2 for 2. Give him 5 points so far in the game. Welker poked it away, and they're going to say it was touched last by Alexander.
Yes, good job by Welker. Southside just got to work on their spacing.
This will be Homestead basketball as they lead it by 3. Even Chris Johnson going with the yellow fleece or whatever kind of jacket that might be.
Yes.
Kuhlman almost turned it over, but got it back. Kuhlman goes down the baseline, blocked by Jordan and recovered by Irby. And Irby, weaving his way around traffic, somehow managed to keep control of the ball. Sandoval fires and hits a 3. We're tied again.
Now young man can shoot it.
He's got a younger brother, Jeremiah, who plays on the JV team here at Southside as this ball goes out off the Archers. His younger brother is Jeremiah Sandoval. And Mason Weaver will inbound. Jake Kuhlman comes across the timeline. He's picked up by Terrence Jordan. As the crowd gets loud here at Reichert Gym, we get a foul away from the ball. A lot of early fouls so far on the Archers. That's going to be their third one as this goes on Jordan.
You know, an interesting thing, Pat, about Homestead is they're going to run their stuff. And they're going to continue running to get the shot that they want. Southside's got to do a better job of the 9 just early entry passes and bumping players off their spots.
All good little tip pass inside. And
good
the shot goes.
Play.
Mason Weaver.
Yeah, that's a very good out-of-bounds play.
He's on the board for the first time. As Alexander loses the ball. Diving to the deck. And that's going to be Welker for the jam. Seven points already from Mac Welker. As Alexander drives, count it, and one.
You know, for those of us that are seeing Southside for the first time this year, you know, one of the things that you notice about their players is that they don't stop fighting. They're going to continue to battle. You know, they feel like, again, they're one of the best teams not only in Northeast Indiana but in the state. And this is a great test for them to see where they need to be. I'm sure that they're both in the same sectional. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yes.
It's been the case the last few years that Homestead and Southside share the sectional.
Yes.
In and out on the free throw.
So who's going to send that message that we'll see each other again in that sectional?
This is Jake Kuhlman across the timeline for the Spartans. He gets a screen from Welker. Welker was contacted and got through traffic.
Again, the making of a Division I player, Mac Welker.
Already 9 points for Welker. Homestead has led most of the way so far as Alexander tries to set the play. They'll get it to Irby. Irby also plays running back on the Southside football team. KJ Alexander plays quarterback. And there's KJ with the basketball. Wallace puts it on the deck. That's Braylon McNeese out there to guard him. And that's going to be a foul perhaps. Yep, a foul on Homestead. Alexander was about to run out of room. Welker's second foul, but he has been playing tough.
Yes. And at this point, really, Southside has no answer for Welker. So it really is just going to be dependent upon how Southside makes their adjustments and how Homestead adjusts to that and continue to find opportunities for Welker to score.
Shyler Dollins in off the bench for Homestead. Catch and shoot for Wallace. He just snuck it inside the rim.
Yes. Great out-of-bounds play.
Kuhlman trying to go through traffic. They work the ball to the corner. Welker's still in there even with the 2 fouls. As Kuhlman spins inside, McNeese knocks down the 3 ball. Now check that. It's Ryder
That was
Immel.
Immel, yes.
Homestead able to answer. Southside gets a good shot, and Homestead, for the most part, has been able to come back down the floor and respond right away. JT Timberlake Johnson is in the game for Southside. Extra pass. That's Wallace. Couldn't hit that one. And Welker, or check that, it's Immel again. Ryder Immel, the sophomore, comes away with it. As Welker almost lost the handle. That's out of bounds off Timberlake Johnson. Another long possession for the Spartans. They've had a few of those so far in this first half, and we've got 56.1 seconds left. I believe they call him Sky Dolan's. Officially his name is Shyler, but Sky for short. Oh, Wallace came from behind, almost got it.
You don't want to leave Immel, though.
What you do want to do if you're Homestead is protect the basketball, because Southside is a stingy team. There's Wallace affecting the play right there. Deep 3. Sandoval short.
That was a heat check.
Mac Welker the board, and Homestead can hold for the final shot of the first quarter. Immel. They'll hand to Kuhlman, 15 seconds. Poked into the backcourt by Jordan. But a good job of Kuhlman staying with it. 7 seconds. Kuhlman, the dish. Immel, the 3. Too strong. Jordan gets the board, but that shot is not going to go. Would have been an impressive make by Irby, even though it wouldn't have counted. 1 quarter in the books, and so far we got a good one. Homestead up by 4 as we go to the second on SummitCitySports.com.
Anderson Heating and Air, locally owned and operated with over 50 years of experience. Call us today and get a free quote on a brand new furnace and AC, financed and available. Don't wait. Call us today and sign up for a maintenance agreement and stay cool. Our maintenance agreements will ensure that you're first in line if you have an emergency, and we'll send one of our service techs out for cleanings twice a year. Call us at 557-0958 or request an appointment on our website. Call Anderson Heating and Air, where your emergency is our emergency.
Tired of waiting for a doctor's referral to start physical therapy? At Indiana Physical Therapy, you don't need a prescription. You have the power to choose where you go for expert care. Our experienced therapists will help you get back to doing what you love. With over 19 locations, getting the care you need has never been easier. Take the first step towards a healthier, more active lifestyle. Visit IndianaPT.com to schedule your appointment today.
Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Well, 17-13 is the score with Homestead on top as we start the second quarter here at Don Reichert Gymnasium on the campus of Southside High School. Of course, the man that Don Reichert Gymnasium is named after, Don Reichert himself, won a state championship with the Southside Archers boys basketball squad. I think that was the 1958 season when he coached them to that. Southside starts with a basketball. It's KJ Alexander running the point.
Coach Foster's got a call play after to start this quarter.
Junior Vincent Wynn is in the game for the first time. That's Jordan looking to go. He swings it outside. Timberlake Johnson found a lane but couldn't finish.
Good move, just wasn't able to finish.
Kuhlman coming the other way. Homestead has been patient, and more importantly, they've taken care of the basketball.
Yes.
Kuhlman finds a lane. Puts it in. Well, the lane closed up, but Kuhlman had just enough space.
Yes.
Kuhlman's got 5 in this ball game as Alexander draws the foul. Looks like it was before the shot. For the most part, that's one thing that Homestead has been able to do is avoid the fouls.
Yes.
Only 2 fouls in the first quarter. Those were both on Mac Welker. Good feed. Irby cashes in right off the inbound.
Caught him sleeping on the out-of-bounds play.
Kuhlman working on Jordan. That's 2 lefties working against each other. Welker has Irby on him. That's a mismatch. They go outside to Sky Dollins. McNeese drains the 3 ball. Braylon McNeese. And the Spartans have their largest lead of the game. Irby down the baseline. Jordan, extra pass, that's Wynn, and he cashes in. Vincent Wynn from beyond the arc.
Reminiscent of his father back in the days of Northside High School.
Kuhlman will come across the timeline, working on Terrence Jordan. McNeese, cross-court feed to Welker. Dollins will fake, and the 3 on its way. It rattles home. That's
Homestead
Kuhlman.
is shooting the lights out. They are shooting the lights out right now.
Jake Kuhlman with his first 3 of the ball game. Out to Irby. He sizes it up, trying to get around Kuhlman, and that will not fall. Jordan with the offensive ball. Excuse me, it's Timberlake Johnson.
Yes.
Well, speaking of Terrence Jordan, he's been rather quiet tonight so far. Irby wants the baseline blocked, and the Spartans come away with it. Immel recovers. Dollins. They go inside to Welker. He'll go with the pull-up jumper, too strong. Little no-look pass. Was that tipped by Homestead? No, it was not. Out of bounds off of Southside with 4:55 to go. Brogan McNeese will check back in for Homestead. The 7-point lead is their largest of the game so far. The trend has been just when it seems like Southside's getting back into the game,
Yes.
Homestead has answered.
Yes.
Kuhlman double teamed. He finds Mason Weaver. McNeese sets the screen. McNeese, and we get a foul. They're trying to get the ball to Welker along the baseline. That foul is going to be on the Archers.
You know, Thad, and one of the things that we're seeing early is Homestead is just being really efficient on the offensive end. They're passing the basketball. You know, one of the things that coaches always talk about is the ball popping, moving from side to side, and they're doing a great job.
That shot just would not crawl home for Kuhlman. Alexander zips it to Irby. He had Brogan McNeese guarding him. Irby into the paint, able to get it back. Alexander, oh my goodness!
Wow.
How did he do that?
What a move.
KJ Alexander from a high degree of difficulty, but here comes Kuhlman into the paint. He draws the foul, the basket counts. Once again, the Spartans answer, and Jake Kuhlman is heating it up.
Man, that looked like a little NBA continuation.
Jake Kuhlman's got 10 points in this game. Meanwhile, Snyder now leads 40-22 over Northrop. Long on the free throw. Good hard rebound by Timberlake Johnson. Irby could not connect. That was off balance.
This is danger time right now for Southside.
Pass got tipped, but it's recovered by Weaver. And Homestead again, very patient with the basketball. McNeese against the double team. And he's fouled. The home crowd wants a traveling call.
Yes.
They don't get it.
Well, when he got tied up, they thought that he got off of his pivot foot.
It was a non-shooting foul, so still Homestead basketball, but no free throws. Welker with the over-the-shoulder catch. Weaver dishes it. That's Kuhlman. Welker, the offensive board, back up and in.
I think Southside needs a timeout.
They're going to get one.
Homestead called the timeout.
Yeah, my apologies, so we'll fix that on the scoreboard. Chris Johnson calling the timeout, but what a great game so far by Mac Welker. I know he's playing with 2 fouls, but Southside seems to have very little answer for him.
Well, and again, he's doing a great job of letting the game come to him. He's taking his opportunities as they come. Obviously, Kuhlman is playing well. And one of the things about Homestead is if Emmel's making shots and Kuhlman's making shots from that perimeter, obviously that opens up things inside for Welker. Southside's got to figure out what defense can they play to keep Homestead players in front of them, as opposed to trying to get through these maze of cuts and the motion offense that Homestead is running. So it's going to be real interesting to see at this point how Southside defends moving forward.
Here's a look at our latest replay. The replay is brought to you by Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. And you're probably going to see a lot of replays tonight from Mac Welker. Just good toughness down low. Tough like a Mack truck. And he's got 11 points already in this game. Jake Kuhlman has 10.
The interesting part about this game, Thad, is the fact that Southside is still in the game. It's only 9-point deficit. It's 3 minutes to go in the quarter. They just have to put a couple baskets together, get a couple stops, and they'll start feeling a little bit better about the way the game is going.
Corte Wallace gets it at the top of the key.
Good
no-look pass, but Alexander, or was that Wynn? That was Wynn who got fouled.
Yes.
And he'll get an opportunity at the free throw line. Snyder's still up big over Northrop. 45-28 the score over there in the boys game. Check in on the Northside Wayne boys game here as well. That just would not drop for Wynn. When Northside came in here, they gave Southside quite the battle.
Yes.
Southside ended up winning the game. I think it was in overtime. Oh for 2. And there's Welker with the board. Jake Kuhlman having a great second quarter so far. As Weaver looks inside, that's going to be a foul on Welker. That would be his third. Or was it on Welker? They said 34, not 30. So that's Brogan McNeese.
Yes.
Only his first. So Homestead able to keep Mac Welker on the floor for the time being.
And if I'm Coach Johnson, that's too close for me. I'm getting Welker out of the game right now.
Irby, pull-up jumper. No good. Vincent Wynn with the board. Not a lot of space. He still finds Wallace. That was a wild shot. And Welker's right there for the board. Kuhlman across the timeline. Welker calls for it. Knocked away by Irby. Still loose. And saved by Wynn. Wallace going to let it fly. No.
Oh, that would have been a big shot.
Would have made it a 2-score game. Instead, Homestead comes the other way. Trying to get it to double digits. Immel. McNeese puts it on the deck. No. Rips it away. Count it. And one. Brogan McNeese.
And what you're seeing right now, Thad, is Homestead is just imposing their will. You know, they're quicker to the basketball. They are pounding the offensive glass. They're limiting Southside to one shot, which is usually a perimeter shot. They're getting in transition, and Kuhlman's doing a great job directing their offense. And consequently, you take a look, it's an 11-point lead.
That timeout was called there by Southside. We'll stay right here with them, but you continue to see the toughness on the offensive glass. I think this is what you were just alluding to. That was Brogan McNeese winning the battle down in the paint.
Yes. And again, the McNeese boys, along with Welker, you know, just have a level of toughness right now. You know, and again, Homestead, they understand that they pound the glass, they have an opportunity to be very successful, and that's what's going on right now.
An 11-point lead for Homestead, and McNeese has a chance to add to that. Looks like maybe Concordia and Lures are getting a late start in the boys' basketball game.
And Thad, for the IU fans, IU just had a pick six for a touchdown, so they're up 6-0 in the game against Oregon.
McNeese can't hit the free throw. Of course, everybody in this state's focusing on that IU-Oregon game.
No doubt.
Wallace gets it out to Timberlake Johnson. Wallace trying to go through traffic. Not a lot of room there. Of course, Southside opened the season with a huge road win against Snyder, traveling. Shot didn't go down anyway. It wouldn't have counted. Got a minute 24 left to go in this first half. And right now, Homestead with the momentum as Immel finds his man. Welker's hit 1-3 already. Not that time. Wallace, the lob, and Timberlake Johnson puts it in.
Yes.
Still just short of the 1 minute mark. Timberlake Johnson on the board for the first time. Kuhlman. They've got Welker down low against Wallace. Welker trying to go to work and puts it in.
Good move.
Mac Welker is just too tough.
Yes.
Irby for three. Yes, he needed it.
Big bucket by Irby.
8-point game here at Reichert Gym.
And this is what I expected. I expected Southside to use that press off made baskets to give them opportunity to speed Homestead up a little bit.
18 seconds left. Homestead can hold for the final shot of this quarter, of this half, I should say. They're just able to avoid the turnover. Down to 9 seconds. Kuhlman, who's had a great second quarter so far. The crowd gets loud. Stolen away, but the clock's going to run out. That desperation heave would not have counted anyway.
Good defense.
It was great defense. That was a stop that Southside needed because Homestead had almost all the momentum in that second quarter. So for Southside to get that three, then get that stop, keep it at a single-digit game is huge.
Well, you take a look at how Homestead shoot. They have to be in the 60s as far as their percentage and the shots that they've made and the great opportunities that they've had on the offensive end. For Southside, to only be down 8 points, they got to feel really good about their opportunity in the second half.
We'll go ahead and get a word in from one of our sponsors. It is because of our sponsors that we get to do these games on SummitCitySports.com. Earn your edge this season. PSM's Edge Training Program maximizes your athleticism through personalized performance training to reach your goals and get you to the next level. Visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com/edge to schedule your free consultation. We'll hear from some more sponsors in a little bit. We'll also hear who the leading scorers for the game are. That'll happen right after this break. You're watching high school boys basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays, and while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions, together we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
Back here at halftime, going to go ahead and get a few more words in from our sponsors before I give you the scoring leaders for this game. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, jump on board. Together we can reach the summit. Jolly Law Firm is the area's best criminal defense firm, helping defend the accused from the government. Whether you are facing an OWI or any other criminal accusation, Jolly Law Firm is the answer. Sioka Cleaning and Restoration, providing commercial cleaning services, including janitorial, water damage, and state-of-the-art disinfecting services throughout Northeast Indiana. Well, right now, Homestead has the lead 33-25 over the Southside Archers. I'm going to go ahead and give you the scoring leaders for this game so far. Mac Welker, 13 points so far in this game, and he has just imposed his will on the interior. Jake Kuhlman had a great second quarter. He's got 10 points for the game as a whole. Other than that, it's Braylon McNeese, who I believe has 3 so far. I may have to update that because, Braylon has actually 4 points so far in this game. Excuse me, Braylon has 3. Brogan has 4. I had him at 2, but Brogan actually has 4. Ryder Immel with 3 and Mason Weaver with 2. For Southside, they're led in scoring by Javon Irby with 7 points. Josh Sandoval has 6. KJ Alexander has 4. Vincent Wynn has 3, and Corte Wallace has 3. And you'd be surprised to hear that Terrence Jordan, one of the top scorers for these Southside Archers, has been held scoreless so far in the first half.
Well, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to score. He's really been trying to facilitate and get other people involved. But again, they need his scoring. He's going to have to have somewhere between 10 and 12 points in the second half to give them an opportunity to win this game.
And, of course, we got a whole third quarter of basketball left to be played. Of course, a lot can happen in that third quarter. Big lead becomes small. Of course, Southside saw that last year when Woodland came in here.
Yes.
Southside led by, I think it was 19 points at one point in the game. Woodland came back, made it a 1-point game. The Archers held on to beat Woodland, and Woodland had a good team that year. They had Trey Yoder on their roster. Southside was able to hold on and put together a great season.
Yes.
It's been a great season for him so far, but Mac Welker has just been extremely solid on the inside. He does have 2 fouls, so that's one thing to watch out for, but Southside has had very little answer for him when he's gotten the ball in the post.
Well, and that's the reason why I think Southside needs to extend the floor. They need to get something out of their press, because if you allow Homestead to bring the basketball down and just throw it inside to Welker, that's going to be a tough matchup for Southside the remainder of this game.
And Jake Kuhlman had a great second quarter. A lot of his points came in the second quarter. He really picked up the slack for the Spartans.
Yes, and again, Kuhlman just does the things, those little intangible things. He gets double figures. He's going to get you 5 or 7 assists. He's going to put pressure on the basketball on the opposing team's point guard, and Kuhlman does all those little things that only coaches and real students of the game can recognize.
Meanwhile, Snyder's still leading Northrop. 51-39 is the score, so the lead is still in double figures, but has shrunk just a little bit, so don't count the Bruins out in that one.
Yeah.
Now what's coming up next for these two teams is Homestead has not the week off. They do have one game coming up on Tuesday. That's at Blackhawk Christian. And then they go back home to take on Snyder, part of a doubleheader action. Homestead will host Marion on January 17th. And Southside's right back here again tomorrow to take on Marion. I believe that's a 7:30 start time. Of course, Marion's led by James Blackman, who's no stranger to the Fort Wayne area. He used to coach at Bishop Luers and won a lot of state championships there.
Yes, one of the premier players in our state's history. Runner-up to Mr. Basketball to Steve Alford. Tremendous player, tremendous coach. Won several state championships at Bishop Luers with Deshaun Thomas, and just a great coach, great program.
Speaking of Deshaun Thomas, I believe it's next Saturday when Bishop Luers is going to be recognizing Deshaun Thomas.
Yes, it was. I saw that announcement on Twitter, and what a tremendous career he had here in our state and in our city, and went on to Ohio State and then overseas, and being recognized for being truly a great player.
Yeah, I remember watching Deshaun Thomas when he played at Ohio State, and Ohio State for a couple of years while Deshaun was there, they had Jared Sullinger, and he was the big-time scorer in the paint. But then when Sullinger left, I mean, you start to ask the question, who's going to pick up the slack for the Buckeyes in the paint? And Deshaun Thomas did that, and not only that, he was a great three-point shooter as well, genuine stretch four.
Yes, and just went on and became a very good player overseas, and again, I can't say enough great things about Deshaun Thomas, and recognizes in the top, I think it's top 5 of all time leading scorers in the state of Indiana. And you look at all the players that have come through our state, for him to be in the top 5, it might, and I might be underestimating, it might be top 3. It says a lot about the type of player he was.
Well, we got about 3 minutes until we get the second half underway. Time to get a few more words in from our sponsors. It's because of our sponsors that we do all the games that we cover here on SummitCitySports.com. Online degree programs at the University of St. Francis are built for convenience and flexibility. Most degrees can be completed in 12 months. Visit online.sf.edu. Specialists in design, build, mechanical, and refrigeration. Visit tjwindustrial.com. The 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. 33-25 in favor of Homestead. Going to check on some more scores. Still a 12-point game between Northrop and Snyder, although it's now 53-41, it looks like. Snyder in the lead. Concordia and Bishop Luers, they must be just getting started in the boys' game. I'm not sure if the girls' game went to overtime. I'll check on that here. Might have had an update. Well, the Luers girls did beat Concordia. 58-51 was the final there, and obviously some other scores to catch up on you. Carroll defeated Bishop Dwenger 58-30 in girls basketball. And another game going on right now is Carroll versus Dwenger boys. Get you that score here in just a second. Yeah, Carroll's leading 28-19 now over there at Bishop Dwenger. And in the Northside Wayne game, I think I saw that Wayne was leading 70-55 at the end of the third quarter. We'll check on that when we come back from this next break. You're watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions, together we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
Well, it looks like they have actually gone final over at Wayne High School. This game, of course, still has a whole nother half to play. Try and check on an official final score in just a second. But the Homestead Spartans with a 33-25 lead over the Southside Archers. Fouls will reset. And yeah, we do have the official update. Wayne wins 87-72 over Northside over there at Wayne High School. So the Generals get a huge win. I'd say it's a young team, although a lot of the kids on that team, you got some upperclassmen, you got you got a senior in LaShawn Green. But for them to come away with that win on their home court was a big deal.
Well, and 87 points, man, that must have been a heck of a game.
Just going out on a limb here, but I'm guessing that LaShawn Green probably had a great night scoring the basketball.
No doubt.
He's a guy who can go off.
Southside's changed their defense. They're in a 2-3 1-3-1, looks like a 1-3-1.
Yeah, I thought it looked like a 1-3-1 when I saw it myself. Welker will get his touch. Feeds that to McNeese. And Sandoval causes the turnover.
You don't want to put it on the floor around Southside's kids.
This is a scrappy Southside team. If they can force you to turn the ball over and get out and run, they can make things tough on anybody. Jordan down the baseline. Short.
Tough shot.
Jordan still scoreless for the night. Kuhlman does get the ball across the timeline. Jordan comes out to guard him.
Southside has gone man-to-man now.
All behind Weaver, but he does recover. Welker going to work on Timberlake Johnson, and Welker puts it in.
Welker's added so much to his game this past over this past summer into this season.
15 points for Welker. Irby gets fouled on the inside with 6:43 to go in the third quarter. Mac Welker with 15 points.
A very efficient 15. Thad, I don't think Welker's taken over 6-8 shots. So
I think
make the most of his opportunities. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, I think you're right about that. He's been very efficient. He's not been streaky. Been taking good looks when he gets them. One for two goes Irby. Southside hasn't had a lot of trips to the free throw line. Ones they have had, I believe they're either 1 for 3 or 2 for 4.
Yes.
Here's Ryder Immel. McNeese fakes the lob play and will hand it back over to Immel. Brogan McNeese trying to get free from Wallace. Looked like Wallace had a hold of him at first. Immel will feed that one outside to Jake Kuhlman. Kuhlman finds a lane. Block. That's going to be a foul.
Ooh.
Well, Wallace did bring the arm down.
Yeah, he did. Yes. Yep. That's good recognition, Pat.
That'll send Kuhlman to the free throw line. Well, now for Corte Wallace, that's his third. So I think he's the first one to get in any real foul trouble in this game. Talked about Mac Welker having 2 fouls. He's still stuck at those 2 at this point. He's been able to avoid any further fouls since early on. Meanwhile, Jake Kuhlman adds to his impressive night. He's got 11. Make it 12. $11-point lead. I believe the largest lead that Homestead has had is 12. If it's not 12, it is 11. Timberlake Johnson. Not a lot of space there. I'm not sure that wasn't double dribble. That's not what the call was.
It certainly looked like it.
Here comes Jordan, late dish, and Timberlake Johnson finishes. Yes. Timberlake Johnson so far just 4 points in this game, and he's a guy who's been scoring in double figures this season. Extra pass, Kuhlman for 3. Yes! Kuhlman lighting it up here at Reichert. And he's got 15 points. Wallace puts it on the deck and gets fouled. Wallace, for a second there, I thought that he was a little upset. Maybe that was a misread of the emotions.
Yes.
That foul was on Homestead. They called it on Brogan McNeese. Right now, Kuhlman trying to make sure his guys are in the right spot. Irby goes down the baseline. Jordan couldn't get free. Sandoval with a contested 3, and that won't go. Kuhlman crashes in for the board for Homestead. Behind the back, it's Welker spinning in. The kick to the corner. And Weaver's three comes up short. Timberlake Johnson catches the pass, but missed it. Alexander with the putback.
Southside's got to get in their press now. They've got to get stops.
That's 6 points for KJ Alexander. Welker draws the foul, and that's going to be on Alexander. Now Welker almost got into it with Irby there. That's going to be Alexander's third foul of the game. Second team foul this quarter against Southside. And Mason Weaver will inbound. Long inbound to Ryder Immel. Oh, Kuhlman with a spin move. Blocked. And off of Kuhlman, Southside ball. It was Sandoval who blocked it.
Okay, that's the stop that Southside need. Now they need to put some points on the board.
Homestead appears to be in a man-to-man defense. Tough catch by Sandoval. Alexander draws the foul before the shot. And I think that's going to go on Braylon McNeese. Indeed it is. Third team foul on Homestead. Just the first for Braylon. As Irby looks to get it in. Almost a push-off by Josh Sandoval. Irby will attack. Outside, Timberlake Johnson had it blocked, and Welker tried to save it, but it's off him.
Good play.
Chris Johnson's going to send in a sub. That's Sky Dollins. And Terrence Jordan will get it into Timberlake Johnson. Jordan slips it in, and Timberlake Johnson with a jam.
Wow.
JT gets up there. There's the press. That's going to be off Alexander. And I think that dunk got this crowd to its feet.
Yeah, and it might be the spark that Southside needs. You get a little more juice when you see electrifying plays like that.
Braylon McNeese will inbound. He finds Kuhlman. The crowd gets loud here at Reichert.
Southside back in the 1-3-1.
Welker just able to avoid the turnover. Alexander was coming in hot. Kuhlman lets it fly. No good. And the rebound won by Jordan. Jordan on the attack. Floater won't go, but he's fouled. Could you imagine if he had made that thing?
Yes.
But he's got a chance at the free throw line.
But again, that student section of Southside, they are into it. And it's going to be real interesting because, again, Homestead has been in this situation, and many times. You got veterans that have been through these types of wars. But again, Southside is going to continue to put pressure on them, trying to get downhill in their scores and giving them opportunity to get in the press.
Terrence Jordan finally on the board in this one.
And sometimes all a scorer needs is to see that ball go in, some kind of way, and the free throw line is great. And I expect him to be more aggressive as the game goes on now.
But 1 for 2 at the stripe. We've seen that a few times from Southside in this game. Looked like Welker was just across the timeline when he caught it. It's Immel for 3, and he buries it.
Can't leave Immel. You just cannot leave him.
Another answer by the Spartans. Immel's hit 2 threes in this ball game so far. Irby gets his touch. Timberlake Johnson just snuck it out to Irby on the baseline. Blocked, but a foul. And if that's on Welker, that's his third. Looks like it is.
Yep, that's 3. I think Coach Johnson will pull him now. You got a 10-point lead. There's no reason to keep Welker in the game at this point.
But can Javon Irby cash in on these free throws? First one just drops.
Friendly bounce.
Looks like Snyder did beat Northrop today. We know they beat him in girls basketball, and they add a win in boys basketball to that as well. And he gets both. Javon Irby 2 for 2. He's up to 10 points for the game. Kuhlman working on Jordan. Immel outside. That's McNeese. Welker's still in there even with those 3 fouls. Jordan had a chance.
And Welker is battling inside.
He's working on Irby. And a timeout. Timeout taken by Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I'd get Welker out right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him if he did. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay with you for this one. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you a replay brought to you by Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. I think I've got the right one here. Yep, I've got it. This is the play that brought the student section to its feet. Now, it's still an 8-point game at this point, but JT Timberlake Johnson with that thunderous dunk.
Yes.
Got it to an 8-point game, and Southside still very much alive in this game, even though it's an 8-point game. Homestead's been able to answer for the most part when Southside has scored and made it look like they were getting back into it. We'll see if they can find an answer here. And again, Mac Welker playing with 3 fouls, and wouldn't you know it, he's back on the floor. This is Homestead ball, and they wanted him to inbound from the sideline, not the baseline. That's where the confusion was. Ryder Emerald will come across the timeline.
Southside's back in the 1-3-1. And again, watch Emerald. Now he'll float down towards that baseline.
Kuhlman. Over to Immel again. They got McNeese at the free throw line. Kuhlman was thinking about a 3. Kuhlman will fire the 3, and it's good.
Goodness.
Nothing but net Jake Kuhlman.
It's a veteran team. Terrence Jordan coming right back at him.
Couldn't knock it down, though, and it's Welker with the board for Homestead. They match their largest lead of the game at 18 points. Kuhlman with a blow-by, and he puts it home.
Kuhlman is having a game.
Jake Kuhlman up to 20 points. Timberlake Johnson needed to hit that, and did he get fouled? Yes, he did.
Welker, that's his 4th.
My goodness. Oh, what a great game Welker's had, but now he's 1 away from fouling out.
And again, sometimes as a coach, you're not aware that your player might have 3 fouls.
Right now, Welker's still on the floor. We'll see if that changes.
He's coming out now.
He is indeed. Mason Weaver will take his place. 57.6 seconds left. Mac Welker with 15 points, but heads to the bench with 4 fouls.
And it's going to be really interesting now to see what Southside does the remainder of this quarter and into the 4th. How long do you sit Welker?
That one wouldn't fall. McNeese wins the rebound. Braylon McNeese, the sophomore. And here comes Immel. Snuck it in there. Back on the other end, that shot will fall. There's Immel for the board.
And now that was an ill-advised shot. Southside should have held for 1. Regroup and get yourself ready for the 4th quarter.
13-point lead for Homestead. I do believe that's their largest of the game. Ryder Immel has it. He'll go over to Kuhlman. Jake Kuhlman has been a cool customer, but Braylon McNeese just stepped on the chalk. Southside takes over, and that's not the kind of thing that Chris Johnson likes to see.
No. But again, Southside should hold for one and then figure out what their plan of attack is going to be with Welker on the bench.
Here's Jordan, feeds it over to Irby. 11 seconds. Alexander gets it. Alexander, foul. I think that's the 6th-team foul on the Spartans, so this will be free throws for Southside. KJ Alexander's going to go to the line, and
Coach is bringing Mac Welker back in.
I was about to say he's headed to the scorer's table right now. Alexander hits the free throw.
Oh.
So with 6.6 seconds left in the third quarter, they get Welker back in the game.
I'm not sure I'd do this.
Alexander gets them both. He's got 8 points in this ball game. 6.6 seconds. Homestead has time to get a shot off. They get it into Immel. He hurries down the floor, and he's going to lean into it and hit it right before the buzzer. Ryder Immel. It was indeed a backbreaker by the looks of things.
Goodness.
Immel having a great game so far, and we're going to the fourth quarter on SummitCitySports.com.
Here, every athlete is one of one. Every day is an opportunity to improve, to become faster, stronger, healthier. That's our commitment. With elite training and expert care, we transform athletes by pushing through challenges and sharing every victory. PSN, you've got goals. We help you get there. Learn more at psmsports.com.
So I tell the truth all the time, ain't got no sympathy for no. I admit, and I'm rich, and I'm lit. Jumping up on stages, I get 200 occasions, but I ain't really the game up. We make sure they trap down. They see how I made it, I'm the reason they won't rap now. See me out in traffic, make a hater pull his head down. Biggie's OG salute me, a stylist can't even style me. The robbers probably wanna get me on my out Lamborghinis. The youngest turn in my city, they try me, I get it cracked. Some of this still would happen if I never started rapping. My people don't stay.
Well, Homestead leads at 52-39, and of course, the big story here right now is Mac Welker. He does have 15 points, but he's also got 4 fouls. He's not going to be on the floor, which is not surprising to start the fourth quarter.
And I think Coach just wanted Mac Welker just to inbound that basketball to make sure they don't throw it away. And then obviously things worked out. Emil makes the shot at the buzzer.
This 13-point lead for Homestead is their largest lead of the game.
So these first 4 minutes of this quarter will determine, I feel, the outcome of this game. Does Homestead increase their lead, up to 18-20, or does Southside get this back down to about 6 points and give themselves an opportunity to win the game?
Almost the entire second half, Southside's been playing from down double figures. Alexander was sizing it up, but he had McNeese right on him. Oh, Alexander with a tough catch, and the basket goes.
Yes. Now you got to make this press work.
It's 10 points for KJ Alexander. Here is the press.
1-2-1-1 diamond.
They just got it to Immel. McNeese crossed the paint, knocked out by Irby. Well, he saved 2 points, but the ball stays with Homestead. The lob inside, that's McNeese. Goes for the spin move and then win. Who's that foul going to be on?
It's got to be McNeese.
It is McNeese, number 34 for Homestead. First foul this quarter, and that clock should not be running.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think J.J. Foster's trying to point it out, and you have to stop
referee
it.
saw it. There should be another probably 10, 12 seconds added to the clock. There you go.
Yep, 7:22. Yeah, the girls' game went into a running clock, but the boys' game has not gotten to that point yet. But great stingy defense there by Vincent Wynn, and stinginess is what Southside is known for. As we get another whistle. Any idea what this might be for? Clock did tick 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Well, this one might just be a mystery that remains unsolved.
Well, and the athletic director's at the scorer's table.
That's Tori Curry checking and seeing what's going on. Irby swings it outside. That's Alexander. Alexander into traffic. Irby recovers. Irby short. That might have been blocked on the way up by Dollins.
It was.
Crossover dribble. It's Immel working on Alexander. Weaver able to find Dollins near the timeline. Inside 7 minutes to go in this ball game. On the drive, it's Kuhlman to the basket. One of the fans next to us thought that Southside got away with a foul, or that Homestead got away with a foul rather, as Wallace couldn't hit that one. But Jake Kuhlman with an outstanding game, 22 points. And he really started to come on strong in the second quarter.
Yes.
Continued that momentum here into the fourth. And that's going to be a foul on Southside. It's going to either be Alexander or Jordan. They do get Terrence Jordan for the foul. That's his second. 6:08 to go, so Jordan not in any significant foul trouble, but it's been a quiet night for him. Inbound to Immel. Immel looking for help. Holding on to it for a long time. That ball gets loose. Southside ball.
Okay, Southside needs to capitalize on this. You know, and again, there's plenty of game to play. Southside's just got to put a couple baskets together, get a couple stops, you know, and start feeling a little bit better about where they are in this game. Again, we're only 2 minutes into this this quarter.
Looks like Homestead's in a man-to-man defense.
They are.
As Alexander steps outside, trying to get to the paint. Not a lot of room there, and we get a foul as Jordan was on the drive. Check that. Timberlake Johnson was on the drive. The foul was on the floor. And I think they got Braylon McNeese. That's the third foul on Dollins, not McNeese. Wallace hustles after that loose ball. Alexander couldn't find the glass. Or couldn't find a clean spot on the glass. There's that press from Southside. They get the ball to Immel. Immel into the paint. Fakes his man up and scores.
And again, at this point, they don't really need Welker on the floor.
Irby falling away, too strong. And there's Kuhlman with the board, stolen by Alexander. Jordan for three. Short. Alexander short as well. Immel chases it down for Homestead.
Just not shooting the ball well right now.
Weaver looking for room along that baseline. And he's fouled. Got a good look.
Yeah, Homestead's kids are just getting downhill and finishing right at the rim.
It'd be the second team foul against Southside this quarter. Again, it's a quick turnaround for Southside. They play Marion tomorrow.
For our IU fans, IU 14, Oregon 7.
Of course, the Hoosiers, that's Tori Curry getting involved to clean up a wet spot on the floor. That's the athletic director.
He does a tremendous job over here.
Absolutely does. And you've seen some improvement in some of the athletic programs. The boys soccer team here at Southside has gotten better under Colas Wallace. We've seen great play from the boys basketball team as well. But right now, Homestead has a 16-point lead.
And Mac Welker is dying to get back in the game, but okay, yes, he did get back in. I'm sorry.
Second one's good. Mason Weaver knocking down both those free throws. Sandoval wanted to put it up. Wallace will. No good. Irby right at the rim. He comes up short. And that touched Irby. That is out off of Southside. As one of the fans wears a Brian Urlacher jersey.
Yes. Throwback Urlacher jersey.
I'm sure we got some Bears fans here.
Big game tomorrow for the Bears.
Yeah, against the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
Cutting in as Welker couldn't finish, but a second chance for the Spartans. Stolen away by Timberlake Johnson. And Timberlake Johnson trying to beat the pack, and he does.
That young man has had himself a game.
Yeah, down 15 or 17 right before that basket isn't where Southside wanted to be, but no doubt about it. That was an impressive shot by Timberlake Johnson. He's got 10 points. He's been one of the bright spots for Southside so far in this game. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
But really, Homestead is just they've been patient with the basketball throughout this game. They really haven't had to go quick or do anything too different to what they're used to.
And one of the things that they've done really well is handle the ball against pressure. You know, they haven't gotten pinned in places where their teammates couldn't help. They've kept the ball moving, kept the ball out of trouble, and then obviously just attacking downhill. Southside really hasn't had much of an answer this evening for that.
I mentioned that Southside has a quick turnaround when they play Marion here in this gym tomorrow. For Homestead, they're at Blackhawk Christian on Tuesday night. Now, of course, Homestead and Blackhawk Christian have been some of the best teams in this area for a while, but usually when they face off on the court, Homestead tends to get the better of them.
Yes.
It is Mac Welker to inbound the ball. Welker imposed his will early in this game, and he can run the baseline after that make shot. Stolen away by KJ. KJ Alexander, who finishes in transition. That's back-to-back buckets for the Archers. Not a whole lot of time left. Tough catch there by Immel.
Sure was.
Kuhlman looking for help. Kuhlman into the paint. Just kept his footing, and they're going to say Southside ball. Apparently, Braylon McNeese touched that thing on the way out.
You know, that is always interesting for me as a coach, you know, and a fan, an analyst, when you see teams start pressuring the basketball late in the game and they're able to get, you know, to get turnovers. Why didn't they start the game doing these types of things? You know, when you're playing in a desperation mode.
That ball gets tipped and taken away. And I tell you what, if Irby had made that three, it'd be a 10-point ball game.
Yes. Homestead should be in no hurry. Just run their stuff. Keep the ball out of troubled areas.
McNeese looking for Welker, and Welker gets fouled. He was tough enough to get that ball and keep it from
great catch, yes.
Keep it from being turned over and then draw the foul. Mac Welker, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's Mac truck tough.
Yeah, he's That's about right. That's about right this evening at least.
3:05 to go in this ball game.
You know, and again, that as a coach, you know, you always like to have players like Mac Welker. Doesn't complain, doesn't demand the basketball. You know, it just seems like a good young man. You know, and you want to see nothing but great things for players like Mac Welker.
Missed both free throws. One of the few dark sides of this game. Timberlake Johnson off the glass.
And Timberlake Johnson is like, as long as there's time on the clock, we have a chance to win. I just like watching this young man compete.
It's an 11-point game with that make, and Timberlake Johnson is up to 12 points for the game. Archers have 3 guys in double figures, though you might be surprised to find out that Terrence Jordan is not one of those guys, and he's not even on the floor right now.
And a lesson to be learned, Timberlake Johnson came off the bench, did not start. It doesn't matter who starts.
Spartans beat the press down the floor. Inside 3 minutes to play here at Reichert Gym. Immel working on KJ Alexander. Kuhlman wants the 3 and hits it. It is a 3.
Kuhlman has had himself a game. Best game I've ever seen him play.
He's been a cool customer. That would have been a 2 had it gone. It will be Southside basketball.
And it's going to be interesting to see, Thad, if this score stays the way that it is, how these teams will make their adjustments moving forward, because they're going to see each other again at some point.
Wallace into the paint, blocked, and it's Welker. And there's Kuhlman with the recovery. Welker and Kuhlman have been the men tonight as we get a foul on Southside. That is their 4th team foul, so the next one puts Homestead at the line for double bonus the rest of this quarter. They get into Kuhlman as we approach the final 2 minutes of the game. Kuhlman into the paint. Knocked out of bounds by Irby. For a second there, I thought maybe Chris Johnson wanted a foul called. Doesn't matter. His team gets the ball. They get to run some time off the clock. Timeout. And that was to avoid a 5-second violation. It's a 30-second timeout. Homestead's got 2 left. We'll take one right along with them on SummitCitySports.com.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions together, we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
IU scores again, 21-7 IU, second quarter.
Indiana coming off that big win against Alabama. Wallace gets the takeaway. Wallace to the basket, scores, and he's fouled. Well, Southside's not quitting.
No, there's no quitting these kids at all.
Corte Wallace fairly quiet up until that bucket, other than an early 3. And with 2:02 to go, he'll go to the free throw line.
And a chance to get back in their press again.
He missed it. And Welker got fouled on the rebound. That was the 5th team foul on Southside. So the Spartans will go to the free throw line as Mac Welker will step right up. .201 left to play in this game. Missed the front end. Again, Homestead goes to Blackhawk Christian on Tuesday night. Southside's right back here taking on Marion tomorrow. Did have an update earlier that Bishop Luers is leading Concordia 35-22 at the half. That's boys basketball. I believe the Luers girls were a winner tonight. 0 for 2. Javon Irby was all alone for that rebound. Irby down the baseline, able to put it home. And all of a sudden, Southside is within single digits.
Yes.
And I think that was Homestead that called that timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll stay with you this time, but that was 2 quick buckets by the Southside Archers. One of them, we'll show it to you here on our Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning replay. This was Corte Wallace just making a play off the inbound and taking it to the cup. Didn't get the three-point play, but Southside did effectively get a stop after the missed free throw, and then Javon Irby able to score with not a lot of room down there in the post. Those replays, as always, brought to you by Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning, and there's still 1:52 left in this ball game.
Yes, and again, Southside kids are, you just got to love them. And then in regards to their competitiveness, their understanding that they might not have played as well as they would have liked tonight, but again, they're going to continue to battle and give themselves an opportunity to close this game the way they want it closed.
Mac Welker will inbound. He gets it into Kuhlman. There's the press.
Oh, they got him where they wanted. They got him
Fell
where
down
they
on the deck.
10-second
gets it
call.
back.
Oh,
that foul might have bailed out the Spartans.
No, they called timeout. Coach Johnson called timeout.
Yeah, you're right. And that's, by my count, that's the last timeout that Homestead has. Kuhlman was on the deck. He's back up. That's the good news. But meanwhile, we've got Mason Weaver on the deck.
He's got cramps. That's a cramp right there.
We'll take an injury timeout. Back in 40 seconds on SummitCitySports.com.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions together, we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
Homestead with the lead, 61-52. Mason Weaver was helped to the bench by the trainers. Trainers for Homestead are Aaron Jessup, Aiden Ligon, and Sidney Thompson. And for a moment, it looked as though Mason Weaver was trying to put some weight on his left leg, but then just stumbled and started to fall. And I think I have to correct myself. The scoreboard here shows that Homestead has 1 timeout remaining, and that Southside has 2. So that wasn't their last timeout, as it turns out, for the Spartans. They will have the basketball. Southside almost got the 10-second violation. Chris Johnson apparently called timeout just in the nick of time. It's Kuhlman working on Wallace.
Oh, Kuhlman's got away from him. He was in a bad spot.
Now he gets across the timeline. Foster wanted the 10-second call, did not get it. Wallace rips it away, but he dribbled it on the chalk.
Dribbled out of bounds.
Almost a turnover, but Wallace dribbles it out. So close.
Yes.
The most important thing for Homestead here is get the ball in before the 5-second clock, and they do to Kuhlman. J.J. Foster earlier was calling for a 10-second violation.
And Homestead is obviously not going to take anything but a layup.
Kuhlman, loose ball, and out of bounds.
Out of bounds, yes.
Southside ball. Emmel, try as he might, was unable to save it. Josh Sandoval will come back in. Seems like he's had a long breather.
Yes. Sandoval hit those 2 early threes and hasn't really scored much since.
McNeese putting pressure on. Alexander picks it up.
Big shot coming for Southside right now.
Step back jumper for Irby. No. Terrence Jordan keeps it alive. Irby just gets it to Sandoval. Jordan going to heave it up, and that's no good. Welker with the board. And Welker finds McNeese. Homestead still hasn't beaten the 10-second clock until now. Extra pass. McNeese, count it, and one. That's probably the dagger.
And I'm not sure if that was a foul. It just, the optics looked like it was a foul, but you know, from our vantage point, it looked like Wallace just kind of blew by him, but he waved at him, but he didn't hit him.
Well, Corte Wallace has just fouled out of the game. J.J. Foster pleading his case with the official. But for Southside, they're going to look to regroup as they take on Marion tomorrow night.
Yes.
And Homestead, all good hustle, but a lane violation.
Yeah, he crossed the lane too early.
Homestead will have Saturday off, maybe a little morning practice perhaps, and then chance to get back to practice after school on Monday. And they'll be back at it on the court against Blackhawk Christian on Tuesday night. Irby, feed down the floor, and Jordan, or is that Timberlake Johnson?
Timberlake Johnson.
It is.
What a game he's had.
Well, 32.5 seconds, and Southside, I believe, has called a timeout. There's 32.5 seconds left in this game.
I have 15 points off the bench for Timberlake Johnson.
That's exactly what I have for him. And now, right now, for Southside, you got to think that they're probably going to have to foul at some point in this possession.
Yes.
I mean, you'd like to think that you can get a 10-second violation, but down 9, that's going to require a lot of time to run
First thing
off.
you try and do is get a 5-second call. And then the next thing you try and do once the ball comes in, you want to try and get a trap if you can, then you foul.
So Homestead, unless Southside were to put together a miraculous comeback here, Homestead would go to 8-2 on the season. And just checking at the SAC standings, Homestead currently is 2-0 in the conference standings. If they were to win this game, they would go to 3-0, and Southside would go to 3-1. And, of course, they've still got a big matchup at home. Homestead does against Snyder coming up next week. Now, Snyder's got some pretty important games between now and then. But that could be a huge matchup and potentially deciding the SAC race.
Okay, 4 across.
Homestead has no problem getting it in. Swatted away by Timberlake Johnson. And he feeds Alexander. And don't go away.
Don't go anywhere.
Time is ticking off the clock, though. Spartans beat the press. McNeese lays it in. Too easy.
Yes.
Inside 10 seconds, Irby with a deep 3. He got it! He got it! But the clock is running down, and now J.J. Foster wants a timeout.
So, you know, one of the things that you look at as a coach in a especially in a 2-possession game, you know, at the end of the game, if the score stays the way that it is, how many turnovers did we have? How many free throws did we miss? And how many opportunities did Homestead score with very little resistance? So, you know, and obviously Kuhlman, you know, averages 10, 11 points a game. He's over 20. You know, Emo made big baskets. Welker is just who he is. So it's really interesting. You know, you can pick a lot of things out of a loss, and I think Southside will make those adjustments, and it'll be an even better game if these two teams were to meet later on.
65-59 in favor of the Spartans, and there's only about 3.2 seconds left. So really, Homestead, all they have to do is just inbound the ball.
Just in the ball, yes.
Maybe Southside commits a foul, but that's really all Homestead has to do.
Yes.
And again, they'll maybe get a little morning practice in tomorrow and practice after school on Monday before taking the court to face Blackhawk Christian for their next game on Tuesday night. That will be at Mark Davidson Court. Welker will inbound. He gets it into Kuhlman, and Kuhlman gets fouled with 1.7 on the timer. With a 2-score game, even if Kuhlman should miss both of these free throws, there's not going to be enough time for Southside to score twice.
Right. right.
Well, as I have it, Jake Kuhlman has 25 points in this game.
Kuhlman has played a yeoman's game. 26 points for a young man that averages about 10, 11 points a game. But again, that's a mark of a great team, Thad. That's, when your star player doesn't have the kind of game that you anticipate him having, other players have to step up. You look at what Kuhlman has done. You look at what Timberlake has done off the bench for Southside. And it's going to be interesting to see the next time they play.
The Homestead Spartans come into Reichert Gym and come away with a win. 67-59 is your final. So Homestead goes to 3-0 in SAC play. Southside falls to 3-1. Homestead's overall record is 8-2. Southside's overall record is 12-1. And Southside plays Marion tomorrow. Homestead plays Blackhawk Christian on Tuesday. It's time to recognize our Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game, and I think it's fitting to recognize two guys in particular.
Yes.
Jake Kuhlman, 27 points, really came alive starting in the second quarter.
Yes.
And Mac Welker, even with the 4 fouls, imposed his will early on and finishes the game with 15 points. I think those two deservingly share the honor tonight.
No doubt. Mac Welker got him started early and got into foul trouble, and Jake Kuhlman came to rescue and finished up. And what a 1-2 punch those guys were tonight.
The Homestead Spartans get the win 67-59, and Coach, just a great game once again played by the Homestead Spartans. And you knew that that Southside was going to present some challenges even with their lack of size. Just because Southside has such a great team and such great speed, such great defense, Homestead was able to handle all of that tonight.
Well, I think, as a coach, when you're playing against a team like Southside, you come into the game and there's 3 things you want. You want to keep your turnovers down. You want to keep your possessions as far as your ability to score. Where are you most effective? Can you score off the dribble? Are your perimeter shots falling? Can you post up? And then the third thing is, can we get multiple players in double figures? And I think Homestead did all those things tonight.
67-59, the Homestead Spartans a winner over the Southside Archers, and that will do it from here at Don Reichert Gymnasium. For Keith Edmonds and my cameraman Gavin Wirt, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Southside. You have been watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com. Good night from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Game day, the moment athletes live for, the intensity, the passion, the unforgettable plays. And while you focus on the game, Watermark Sports Photo captures the memories. From the heart-pounding action to the game-winning score, our game day photos make your athlete the star. But we don't stop at game day. With our Sportrait sessions, together we dream up poses and take your athlete's story to the next level. Serving Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, from colleges to high schools and club sports, moments fade, but the memories last forever. Watermark Sports Photo, where every shot is legendary.
Thanks, Dad, for letting me work with you tonight.